What's up, visionaries? Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love. I'm Lamont, and this is my wife, Tanya. She let me start.
Yep, but you said my name. It's okay. Let's do it again.
Hey, I'm Lamont, and this is my wife,
Tanya.
and welcome to another episode of Visions of Love. It's been a busy week.
Yes, and we hope you're doing well as usual.
As usual.
Yes, so money, finances, it plays a big part in a relationship, marriage. There's definitely some things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people just don't know about. And, it's just deeper than money
Surface
issues.
level, yeah.
Yes, the surface. There you go. He always had the right words. Yes, surface level issues. It's deeper than that. It's there's some attachment styles that come along with relationships or who you are and in finances.
How you handle money.
Yeah, and so we feel like if you know where you fall, what kind of attachment style you have, if you know your attachment style, then it's easier for you to adjust,
Yep.
And communicate properly with your partner when it comes to finances.
Yeah. And that's what brings us to today's topic: money talks. Understand attachment styles in financial communication, because we talk verbally and we talk non-verbally, and a lot of times our relationship talking to relationship or non-verbally, and it can, and finances has a big part to do with.
Yeah. So we're not just talking about budgeting, and we're not just talking about bills, who gonna pay this, who gonna pay that, who gonna do this, who gonna do that. But we want to go deep again into the attachment styles because it shapes the way we show up in our financial conversations with our spouse.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And if the money ain't right, the relationship don't go right. And if the money ain't going right, the relationship gonna ultimately fail, because that finances play a big part. Even though, and sometimes we can focus too much on the finances, and then we miss the other part of the relationship. But not forget that both go hand in hand. It's called balance, and we need our finances right to have a healthy relationship. If we're in an unhealthy relationship, the finances needs to be right. And make it a whole lot. You could think clearer with when your finances is right.
yeah. But here's the truth. Here's the hardcore truth behind every harsh or what's another word I'm looking for? Tense. Yeah, tense money talk. There's silent treatment. You know, you go rogue over talking about overspending.
Yeah.
That's something that most couples don't want to talk about, especially the wife. We don't want to talk about that. Yeah.
And all those usually stem down to a lot of emotional unmet needs that show up in the way we handle money.
Yeah, and as you see, if it's a difference in your saving goals, then what's happening? There's no communication.
Y'all going different places.
Right.
Y'all got different agendas with what you need about the money that y'all bringing into the household.
Yeah.
Or into the relationship.
Yeah.
And you got to be on the same page, especially when we're talking about money. It's essential that both parties be on the same page when you're talking about money.
Yeah. And as you see, there's a cute couple over here. They together. They checking out their finances together. You don't see any tension. They actually look pretty happy talking about finances. And this is where, if you're not there yet, this is where we're trying to get you to this state,
Healthy state.
Yeah.
Talking about money.
Yeah, this is the kind of connection we want to help you build. Because we understand our own attachment styles and our partners. If we understand it, it's gonna open up the door for deeper trust and better communication all around finances, and that's a goal.
Yeah. So in this session, we're going to break down each of the four major attachment styles and how they show up in our financial decisions, behaviors, patterns in our marriage, and how we can avoid the money talk altogether.
Yeah, from the ones, because we don't want to avoid it.
Yeah, we don't want to avoid it. Yeah, so
from the ones.
Yeah, for the people who don't like to talk about it.
That's right, right. To the ones who cling tightly out of fear of scarcity, because that is one. That's an attachment style. We're gonna cover all that, and by the end of our video, our prayer is that you will walk away with a fresh understanding, a fresh perspective, and also just tools, practical tools.
Turn money talks into a moment of connection and not conflict.
Because that's what we all about.
Turning conflicts into connection.
Absolutely.
And money is the conflicted state that a lot of people get into if you don't, like we said, if you don't handle it right. Mm-hmm. There are 4 major attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidance, and fearful avoidance. Mm-hmm. And all these deeply impact how we approach finances in our marriage.
Mm-hmm. And there's more, but again, these are the 4 major attachments that affect, like my baby said, deeply on how we approach the finances in the marriage. Secure couples view as a shared responsibility. So that's the secure attachment style. We view finances as a shared responsibility. We communicate openly about money.
And you're able to approach things as a team
versus
self-centered coming in talking about finances.
Yeah, so secure is the goal. That's the ultimate goal. You want to be secure in anything in your relationship or marriage. So the anxious attachment style or couple seeks constant financial reassurance. Might go out there and overspend, but for validation.
To show other people that you still got it. Like we can take a trip. Oh, we're not financially in a burden. We can take a trip, and now you taking a trip, overspending on a trip that you really couldn't afford because you anxious seeking out attention from other people. Yeah, and that causes you to overspend. Yeah, and interrupt your money conflicts in your relationship, and it will threaten it.
Yeah, and it will cause conflict. Absolutely. So the avoidant couple, they prefer financial independence. So they resist having the same bank accounts or putting their money together. It's like this yours and this mine.
And and like I say, I truly believe, like I said, in marriage, I know sometimes you may come inside the marriage or you may come inside the relationship with more wealth or more finances than the next partner. But ultimately, if you married to a person, you married to that person. So you got to accept them that they're going to get access to your money. So many people, they still want to separate. Look like, well, no, we married, but this is my money. And ultimately, I see that them marriages, them relationships will come to their demise because you got to mix it. And you still have your little, you can have 3 bank, you can have the couple's bank account, you can have a personal, but you still got to join finances. Why? Because that's us joining together, especially if you're married. You know, finances got to be a joint because if you're not, then more than likely that person is an avoided person. They avoid really fully committing inside the marriage. When I'm gonna commit to you, but my money's not committed to you. Yeah. AKA, that's what they're saying.
Yeah. And in one of our previous videos, I encourage you to go back through our videos. We've got some great videos. We spoke about how we actually had best friends, like we were couples, best friends, who we would go out with, and they actually, again, their marriage came to a demise, and we kind of knew early on that this would happen because when we go out, and maybe a lot of couples don't do this and they don't go to their demise. Not the money though, the food. That's what I was gonna say. Me and my baby, when we go out, we share food. We get something different. We'll share, get a little taste, in there. But that was kind of like, no, this is mine. That's yours, And even with the money, with everything. So we seen that in real time.
Yeah, a sharing couple is a sharing couple.
Right. It can't be one way.
Yeah.
If you share things, like you say, the way you do things is the way you do things. Yeah. Pretty much. So, and avoiding couples also withdraw during money talks. They don't like to talk about money.
Yeah.
Like, you don't tell me how to spend my money, you know?
That avoided person, that avoided couple that don't like to talk about money, also, like we said, this is stuff that stems in every area of your life. Avoided couple that don't talk about money actually don't want to talk about anything probably conflicting, anything that's real trouble spots in the marriage. So therefore, you're going to avoid anything. You're going to avoid money talk. You're going to avoid other stuff in a marriage that may help you grow. Because in marriage, it's a thing about cutting and pruning. You got to prune the bad stuff to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
And avoiding person don't want to do that. They don't want to talk about money, and they don't want to talk about nothing that's conflicting to their character that they built over the years. Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. And so if this is you, if you're avoiding person in your relationship or y'all avoiding couple, start by not saying this is mine.
Yeah.
Mine. Ain't no
you gotta
I
change.
and we.
You gotta change. Yeah, that is an important thing because you gotta change the lingo how you speak about things, because so many things we don't say. Even I know one of the catchiest things that a lot of people say, like even when you talk to you might say my mama. Like I'm talking to my brother, I'm like, yeah, my mama.
Yeah.
That's our mama. so often we don't make the transition to say our mama, but that's actually not even thinking me being a selfish person when I say our mama. It's non-conscious. I'm just saying it, but in my mind, I'm not thinking about my mama, but I am actually thinking about my mama.
Yeah.
And even though that's both our mama, I say my mama.
Yeah.
So we gotta transition our talk because we talk about that. We say my money, not our money. You know what I'm saying? When you change the lingo that you're now in a relationship, now that you're married, you change the lingo of how you talk about money versus I, we, us, me. All those switching language will actually bring the money conversations closer together because I'm not talking about my money. I'm talking about our money. Us.
Yeah.
The money we got.
Yeah.
We, us.
Yeah. Certain things just, you got to let your guard down. You can't have all that when you're coming into a marriage because it's no longer it's just we won.
And also, and another thing about that, you don't want to do that because sometimes the table can turn. So while you and your selfish shape, maybe because your finances is good, all of a sudden things switch and your finances might be bad, and because you built up that selfish intelligence, do like no, with a person like no, this is my money. You one was like that. Now that you messed up in the game, that's not my problem. You need to get another job. So that selfishness, that avoidance, like I said, keeps showing up in other areas. So we got to watch it. We got to, like I said, first we got to be attentive and aware of which version of us shows up in our attachment styles, in the way we handle money. And understanding your own and your partner's attachment style is the key to building deeper trust and better communication around finances and around conflict and love in a relationship.
Yep, but let's jump back up because we got one more. We got the fearful avoidant.
Yeah.
As you see here, the fearful avoidant who they fear financial vulnerability. And they may hide purchases or debt. May struggle with trust and money decisions. So yeah, that's the fearful avoidant.
And you really gotta understand the attachment styles and really pinpoint them out because ultimately your partner's decision about financial ultimately dictate it was gonna be mine. So she might have a money problem. You're like, well, that's her money problem. That's how she got a bad spending problem. No, y'all in a relationship together. It's more than likely. The real thing is y'all. So when one partner bad spending, that means I'm bad. That we messed up in the money. Yes, she might have, but you marry everything about the person. Y'all both. It's messed up financially.
And that's why you have to have a goal, a common goal. You have to come together with a goal, with your finances, with where you want to, with everything.
Yep.
You got to come together with a goal because if you don't have a goal, where are we going?
And ultimately, money speaks one language. You save me today, I will save you tomorrow. And money is meant to be spent. If we don't give our money a destination, then we're going to find out that money's gone. So it's best, like I said, we have shared goals in our relationship, things that we both, me and my partner, we build it on, we're investing into to grow. That can be to build a house. You got to put your money somewhere because if you do not give your money a destination to go, naturally money going to say, what? You know what? you need a new car.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend got one down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So now you go and spend your money buying something, a new car that you didn't even need.
Yeah, now you turn it into the anxious couple. Seeking that financial reassurance. So be very careful there and understand your attachment style when it comes to money and, just period.
Yeah.
Knowing your attachment style, period, will help you communicate, and
around money.
Yeah, and connect with your partner on a deeper level, and it won't be so much conflict in your marriage. And that's the often goal.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of times I think too often people fail to realize that spending money is an addiction too.
It is.
So with a lot of people, some people you was on drugs, and you stopped doing the drugs, but yet you still got money that you need to spend. So you throw that from drugs to just spending money.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to realize, like I said, spending money is addiction. If we don't put that addiction to a positive way, then naturally that money's going to go.
Yeah.
Money's going to go.
Yeah.
If you don't give money a destination, money will find a destination to go. So it's best for you to give money a destination, because it will go. Give your money a destination. Like I said, you're really supposed to pay 10% to God, 10% to yourself, and that's saving, and whatever's left off, another 10% for rainy day, and 70% you live off of.
That's a breakdown right there.
The 30-70 rule.
Yeah. That's a good breakdown. Okay, and so the ultimate goal again is a secure attachment. You want to have that secure attachment in finances, because that's going to build that trust, and you're going to be working together as a team, and that feels great. To work together as a team is a good feeling.
To be on the same page financial wise, to be on the same page spiritual wise, to be on the same page emotional wise, or at least growing that way.
Yeah.
We might not got to be all the way there, but it's good to be headed in that direction. That means we're moving places. We're not standing still in our relationship. We're not stagnated in any kind of way.
Yeah. And that secure attachment is going to involve you opening up that communication where you can discuss money matters, how you can discuss it honestly and without judging each other.
Yeah, your balance. It's good to balance individual needs with shared financial goals. So you got shared financial goals. Shared financial goals.
Yes.
And adapt the plan and circumstances change. So our goal, like I said, it's good. The name of our channel is Visions of Love. We got that because without visions of love. Without visions, the people perish. So like we said, the first goal, if you're starting off at a married, to get a house. And a lot of times, maybe the next, we have no more goals left. Yeah. Maybe the next goal is to pay off a house, and after that, that's why it's essential that you keep having goals that you put your money to, that you can actually grow your money, because the name of the game is to build wealth. And it's better to two can build wealth a whole lot quicker versus one person. But we both must be on the same page with our money. Where do we want our money to grow? Because we want money to grow, or we want our money to go. Because either way, it's gonna move. Either way, money's gonna move. And the goal, like we said, the goal is to create balance in your relationship. Have regularly consistent planning about your financial direction of your relationship.
Yeah, consistent planning, because things change.
Yeah.
Somebody might lose a job. You might start making more money. Anything could happen to where you need to do a meetup. To discuss your financial planning, your budgets. Review your expenses, because those could change too.
Yeah.
And then it's always unexpected things that come up.
Yeah. And I think so much it's essential that we get ahead of ourselves and get control of our money when we got less moving parts. So let's take a couple, like my wife and I. We got a lot of business. We got 2-3 business. But I got monthly subscription coming out, thousands of dollars a year that we pay out. That if we both not attention to that, one little slip, or let's say we stop programming, so now all of a sudden we missing out on $400 or $500 being taken out of account on a monthly basis because a program we did, I quit it, or she didn't. We wasn't in communication of ending the program or stop doing this, stop doing that. We about got to be on the same page because our funds can quickly go when you got a lot of monthly expenses that come out when you got business involved in doing your thing. It's so easy when you don't have that much. You just got personal bills, but you got to begin with the end in mind. If you not faithful over few, God can't make you rule over many. So we got to learn to be faithful. We have less moving parts. So when we do get, like, we start building wealth and we got more, also we went from working to now we got business and stuff. Now there's more components. We need to hold finances, the most important part. And we need to control that because now we can lose money if we're not on attention to that. So then you got to be on the same page. It's essential that you be on the same page.
Yeah. Now let's discuss the second financial attachment. Attachment style. We just discussed the number one, which was a secure attachment. All right, but now we're gonna go to two. The second attachment style we introduced early on was the anxious attachment style, and this is where financial decisions can trigger feelings of fear and a need for reassurance in a relationship.
Yeah. When a partner makes a mistake or makes an independent financial decision without discussing it, it can cause the other partner to feel anxious and spike a feel and unloved and unsafe and insecure in this relationship because, like we say, the one partner spending affects the other partner. Like, damn, we're trying to grow, but you keep spending money. We're trying to get a house, but you keep spending money. We're trying to do this, but you keep spending money on that. And a lot of times people don't have the financial means to do both of them.
Yeah. And then it's just like financial infidelity.
Yeah.
You're not discussing with your partner, so your partner feeling like,
and
you cheating.
Yeah, and depends on what they value more. A person might feel more hurt than you spending money than cheating on.
Yeah. And that's what I mean when I say that. Not like literally cheating, but you cheating on me with the money.
Yeah, especially if it's habitual. Meaning you just keep doing it. You not relentless with your spending. Party keep checking, you just, I'm gonna do what I want to do. It's my, I make my own money and I pay the bills are paid, but this is my spending. But all of a sudden y'all in a conflict that can't stop because we working off of our attachment styles that's really fueling our relationship and our spending. If we're not aware of it, then we can just be going and not recognizing why we're doing what we're doing with our finances.
Yep, and this emotional response often leads to a behavior pattern of seeking reassurance through questions or conflicts driven by an underlying need for validation that the relationship is secure despite money stress.
Yeah.
And if you look at this image here, look at the PowerPoint, this is tense. Look at the faces. Financial situation between the couple is tense, with the woman looking worried about her husband while he checks his phone, and he don't look like he really, well, he do kind of look concerned, but I don't know if he yeah. He look kind of concerned.
And when one partner, let's say if both partners not avoiding, then one partner is avoiding, then the burden of care falls on the partner that's not avoiding.
Yeah.
And so many times, one of the most emotional strains in a relationship is the burden of care. That's the most emotional. So you can do the thing, but if you don't care about, like, I'll pay the bills, but I don't care about paying the bills. So therefore, without vision, like I said, the people throw off restraint. So you may spend extra money because you pay the bill, but my partner got it. Sometimes you deal off somebody, you actually spend it off somebody else's pocket. I know I got it, but I can overspend because ultimately my husband got it or my wife got it. So they'll catch up. They'll pick up my slack when I avoid taking responsibility. Meaning saving money, that's responsibility. Not overspending, that's being a responsible adult. One partner may pick up the slack for that. And it's almost selfish that you allow somebody to come in and kind of got to be your chaperone and baby you about your finances because adults haven't got their finances together. That's one of the things I truly believe that when a part of becoming an adult is working on your finances. When I see a woman or a man that does not know how to control their money, I know that they're still young minded and that uncontrol of money probably got a lot of areas that hit up in their relationship.
Yeah.
Ultimately be the demise.
Yeah, well, they people pleasers.
People pleasers, they like to do it for somebody else, yeah.
They deal with this type of attachment,
Yeah.
anxious attachment. All right, so the key here is to address the underlying emotional needs and insecurities,
Yeah.
rather than simply focusing on the other financial decisions itself.
Yeah. Because everything is dealt with the way our emotions. When emotions are under control, our spending is under control, our love life is under control, we kind of feel at peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I consider, like I said, even when me and my wife during the week, when we have a good week, no kind of issues, none of that trauma attachments or attachment styles come up, then I'm smooth. We can make more financial decisions and things just go a whole lot smoother.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love when you're in that element, or we're in that element. It's just such a nice closeness. So y'all, we really not out here doing this for our health. Really pay attention to these attachment styles, because I mean this can save your marriage or your relationship. Okay, the next one we're gonna talk about is number 3, and that's avoidant. Well, this is actually 3 and 4. Avoidant and fearful avoidant patterns.
Yeah.
Avoidant attachment is often characterized by a desire for independence and a reluctance to share finances or discuss money with your partner. So you don't want to discuss. Again, communication.
Yeah.
Yes.
That mine's and yours mentality.
Yeah.
Unless you got, this is probably one of the most strongest mentalities that you got to break as far as the avoidant attachment style. Got to break that.
Yeah.
Because avoidance, you brush things under the water. This is I would say avoidance and fearful avoidance probably the biggest ones on your finances.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, and if that's going on, if you avoid it, and that tells a lot about your relationship altogether. If you're avoiding, if you got this avoiding attachment style in your finances, then you might be avoiding a whole bunch of things in your relationship, sweeping a bunch of things under the rug, but that's another story. People with avoidant attachment tend to keep their finances separate. Again, they avoid the discussions and struggle with long-term shared planning.
Yeah.
Fearful avoidant attachment involves a deep fear of both control and abandonment when it comes to money. So you don't want nobody else to control, and you don't want to feel abandoned.
Yeah. And sometimes, like I say, it's just the matter if you want to control your money.
Or you want to control your money.
Yeah, you just want to control your money.
Absolutely. But again, there's no I and we. So that's one of the things to think about before you even step. If you're watching this and you single, or you seriously date, before you even step into that marriage, think about these type of things, because you have to get yourself ready for a marriage. It's not just something that you just do. Marriage is work, and marriage is, it's planning.
Yeah.
It's
and
planning.
Finances is a big part of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And our attachment styles plays a big part of our spending in a relationship.
Yep, and our attachment styles plays a big part of like just who we are.
Purchasing and financial decisions, and a lot of people with this attachment style, like avoidant, fearful avoidant, they experience ups and downs, mood swings about money.
Mm-hmm.
And they often engage in impulse spending, and then all of a sudden they guilt tripping themselves after they spend. Yeah. And the core issues of both these attachment styles is difficult because people can't trust somebody with these attachment styles. Especially when financial responsibility matters and desire to this person keeps the desire to maintain full control, not letting their partner dictate the growth about spending in the relationship. Because sometimes you might not understand why you spend it. Sometimes you got you you just want to control your money and you don't know how to control. You can tell you know how to control your money because your money be growing. So many often we got a good job, but our money don't grow because we don't know how to. We're not financially educated about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're not financially educated about it because we don't want to let nobody tell us, oh, why you doing that? Check us about our spending.
And so yeah, that's
you got to be checked. Like I said, you got to be checked about the person you showing up, the how you showing up in a relationship, whether that's negative, combative, defensive, fighting all the time, the conflict, and you got to be checked about spending because her bad spending is ultimately going to fall on me. My bad spending ultimately fall on her. Her good spending ultimately fall on me. But you don't want to be the one that's doing the good stuff and your partner doing the bad stuff, and all of a sudden your work's going down the drain because y'all fighting too bad. You'll save what you're spending.
Yeah.
You'll save what you're spending. Ultimately, they can't keep fighting like that.
Yeah. So if you are have the avoidant attachment, again, there's a difference between avoidant and fearful avoidant. When you avoid it, you're characterized by a desire for independence and a reluctance to share finances or even discuss money with your partner. But if you have a fearful avoidant attachment, it's a deep fear of both control and abandonment when it comes to money. And you hide your purchases from your partner or your financial decisions, which you experience emotional swings about money and engage in impulsive spending followed by guilt.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Guilt trip.
Yeah.
Both of these attachment styles, like I said, breaks the barrier of trust in a relationship.
Yeah. Okay. Notice if you are avoidant or fearful, avoid it.
Yeah.
Okay. So why attachment matter in money talks? So why attachment matters in money talk?
Because our money, and the way we handle money, the way we talk about money, is deeply tied to our emotional needs and our attachment patterns. And if we understand our attachment patterns and how our attachment style influence our money behaviors, we can create a space for growth and healing.
When we recognize our emotional triggers around money, we can improve how we communicate about financial matters with our partner.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to be able to communicate. And lastly, awareness is why it matters.
Yeah.
Okay. Conflict over money often reveals a deeper unmet need for security, respect, and belonging.
Yeah.
Addressing the attachment issue, the underlying money issues and disagreements is the key to resolving them.
Yeah. Because like I said, conflict is the thing. It really boils down to the need for security, respect, or belonging. And how we spend money is how we show up to the world. So we may be feeling insecure. So we spend money. We may want the respect. So we overspend money. We want to be belonging. So we overspending money.
We might have grew up without money. So we want to spend money.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, addressing these issues and communicating with your partner will give you a deeper understanding of just why they're doing what they're doing. And then once you're aware about the situation, then you can address it.
Yeah. And like I said, the key thing is the growth is like watch this video right here. Now you're going to attachment styles. Now you understanding money. Now you understand that my attachment styles is attached to how I spend money. This is a whole nother video. This is a whole nother topic and area that you can go down in your relationship that starts the journey of growth. Yes. So we just gave you a whole nother topic. If you never thought about how my attachment styles coincides with how you spend money, then hopefully this is a refreshing video to give you some insights about that. So create a road that you can go down and start discovering and building a connection between you and your partner.
So it's all about building that stronger financial connection in your relationship.
Yeah.
Here are 4 key steps to help you and your partner improve how you can communicate and work together on financial matters. Okay, the first step is to identify your patterns, like we just said.
Yeah.
Identify, because when you become aware,
Yeah.
recognize your attachment style and how it affects your approach to money. Notice triggers that come up during any financial discussions.
What you want, what you're not aware of, and what you're not attentive of or addressing, you can't change.
Yeah, and if you say something to your partner like, why did you go shopping or something? Why did you do this? And it triggers them and they go off. Notice that.
Yeah.
And that may be something that y'all can sit down and address.
Yeah.
The second step is to create safe money talks. Okay? Choose calm moments for the conversations.
Yeah.
Make sure it ain't no heat of the moment before you come out. Well, how did you spend that money?
Or why?
Yeah, or why? And be sure to use I feel statements instead of blaming each other, and listen to understand rather than to just respond.
Yeah.
The third step is to establish financial rituals. What is rituals? Yeah. Something that you do
on a regular basis that enhances your relationship.
All right, so you want
monthly meetings,
yes,
weekly meetings,
yes. Schedule those regular money check-ins. Yeah. Celebrate when you win together. Yeah. Celebrate those little talks you had successfully, no matter how little it is, and always pray about the big decisions as a team. Yeah. Okay, because you are a team.
Yeah, and I think that what that means it seems like there should be money limits. Once we spend it over this much, you need to discuss. We need to be talking about it. If you spend over $300, $500, or $100,
yes,
before you make that decision, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. You know, certain thresholds, depending on your income level, you might not need to talk about it. But certain levels you do. Like, before you spend over this much, we need to discuss this. We don't have that much money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. And the fourth step is to seek support when needed, like considering financial counseling. Yeah.
Financial Peace University, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Work on that.
It is.
We went through that and we actually used them steps. I know people talking about Dave Ramsey, all this and that, this and that. Majority of people just need a plan to start with. Without a plan, you plan to fail. So most people don't got a plan. So
again, without a vision,
without a vision. So Dave Ramsey, whether you might not like certain things he say, the foundation of it is firm. Right. And that's all about. Take that and you build upon that. The foundation of something like Dave Ramsey. Of course, we got Buzz Anista. I think she's a black girl. She did a little budget and stuff, but the foundation of many of these courses is which upon you can build upon. As long as you get the foundation solid, and everything else you can compromise on.
Yeah. The overall goal is to build a stronger, more collaborative approach to your finances as a couple. Yeah. Again, there's no I and we. Stop saying that my. Sound like Johnny Gill. Is it Johnny Gill? Yeah. Okay, now for the importance of trust in marriage. Because trust is the real currency of marriage, okay? Yeah. Beyond just the financial aspects, money discussions can reveal our deeper values around safety, freedom, and respect. Yeah. And financial transparency can build intimacy. Yeah.
When I know how much money you got, when we open about the money talk, then we can do everything else. Is like I said, intimate is what intimate you see. So if you're not being intimate about money and finances, then you're being guarded off. Yeah. You're being walled off. You keeping distance. So while you in your relationship, you think y'all growing together, y'all can't even get on the same page about money. Y'all, wherever y'all relationship is a standstill till you get on the same page about finances, spiritual, and emotional growth. Those are 3 key areas that you need to work. Spiritual, if you got spiritual, financial, and emotional growth, because you want to be a healed person. So you spend your money right. You don't want to be overspending. You want to be spiritual so you can find your purpose. And you can continue growing this couple.
Yeah, but that's another video. Yeah. We'll get into you later. Financial challenges, when navigated together, can actually strengthen the bond between partners and create new patterns of trust and understanding. Yeah. As couples bring any attachment wounds or financial baggage to light, the marriage can become a safe haven for true financial partnership and healing,
Yeah.
being vulnerable about things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vulnerability is the gateway to open up things.
It is.
Financial vulnerability.
The key message is that trust is the true currency that powers a healthy, thriving, not surviving, thriving marriage, not just the numbers.
Yeah. So,
yeah. We hope you got something out of this. Now, again, it's secure attachment, which is the ultimate goal. Okay? Secure is the ultimate goal. It will be on here. Yeah. Then we got the anxious attachment style, where you're trying to impress. You're anxious. Try not to be anxious, okay? No overspending for validation, okay?
yeah.
Then we got the avoidant couple who prefer financial independence. And then we have the fearful avoidant who spends and hides it.
Yep. Like we said, we want you to be at a secure couple. We want you to be at a secure attachment styles where you openly and share your financial responsibilities and you communicate openly about money and you approach money issues in your relationship as a team. Because you're a team. There's no I in team. Yep. Now it's y'all. So the goal is to be on the same page financially, spiritually, and emotionally.
Yeah. And so just be aware. Okay. So aware and intentionality will take you places.
Yeah.
Okay. So we hope you got something out of this. If you did, go ahead and comment, like, share with your family members. You know somebody that's married. When y'all go out there, always like, no, you can't have none of my food. No. You pay for it with your money. Show them this video. All right. Because we're trying to create healthy marriages here, you know, just like the one we have. Do we argue and stuff? Absolutely. You know, almost every day. Healthy arguments, though, you know. All right. But anyway, do we talk about our money?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do we share money? Yes. We share. There's no my. We're not Johnny Gill and no Johnny Gill. Okay, well, let me get on about. Let me go. All right, so this has been another episode of Visions of Love and Relationship. Be sure to visit us at loverscoaching.com as well. Okay? /love.
Check out the free mini course because, like I said, our free mini course, Conflicts to Connections. Healthy Relationship Mastery course. We got a mini course that we just launched. You guys, you get access to 10 free videos that helps you start the ground, bro. And we talked about stuff like this, finance, because we know finance. So you get the 10 free video lessons that help you get a new perspective on your relationship to get you down on the road of building a healthy relationship. You get the 10 free mini series videos. You guys can access that, like I said, loverscoaching.love. You got 7 days. Once you access, go to the link. You got 7 days to finish the course. They quick lessons, but pinpoint to teach you to open up your perspective about love, conflict, and shared responsibility and money.
And connection.
Which
is going to lead to connection.
Yep.
All right. This has been another one. They had vision, and together they built the life that they love. Go build.
See you in the next one.
In the city lights, we shine so bright. Tanya in the months, we're in the limelight. Sharing stories on our podcast every night. Spreading love and soul, our words take flight. Talking about love, we keep it real and raw. Through the ups and downs, we stand tall. Our voices blend like a sweet harmony. Touching hearts, creating unity. Dive deep into emotions, no filter inside. Tanya's souls to heartfelt